Hey there, YouTube. I've got a Gen 1 DX18 that I bought when they first came out, and I've broken a switch. There's a few videos on YouTube opening the case of these Spectrum transmitters, but this one's a little bit different. So I thought I'd do a video specifically on this DX18. I don't know that they were ever very popular, at least the version 1. And yes, back at the time we did wear onions on our belts because that was the style of the time. Anyway, we'll start out by removing the battery and the memory card. Then there's 2 screws here and then 2 screws hidden under these grips that are just held on with sticky tape, and then there's a tab that kind of indexes into the plastic here. Since I'm too lazy to get out a tripod, I'll do that off camera. Okay, there you can see the 4 screws we're talking about, and then it's basically tabbed under this upper plastic piece. And you may have to kind of give it a good wiggle to get it to pop off, but there's the back part of the cover. And then if you need to get at something in the upper side of the radio, as you can see, there's 2 screws here. But you also need to pull these 2 screws, and they're shorter than the rest, so be sure and keep that squared away. And then this antenna cover basically is indexed into the front of the case with some tabs. So it will tip forward slightly and pop off the top, and that'll expose 2 more screws. So this back handle, I found you can get to these screws square enough to get them out if you're careful, but if you wanted to detach this back handle, it's tabbed into the front of those openings and cammed in and held by the screws. And then, of course, there's an antenna inside here, so you want to be aware of that, cognizant of that, I guess, is what I'm trying to stumble on, and not break it. And you can see there's a connector here that leads to the electronics here that's part of this back housing. But for what I'm doing, I think I can just sort of set it aside and not remove that. So these 4 screws and those 2 screws. Okay, here's the upper antenna cover. And you can see there the little plastic tabs that it hooks in. And hopefully, there you can see the other 2 screws that need to come out. And we'll take this upper back off. Okay, and here we can see the case pulled back, and being careful not to pull these too tight, but I can get to the switch that I need to remove, and then I have a replacement switch that will hopefully fit. I think Spectrum used to be able to buy parts like that, and now you can't. So they want you to send it into the factory or whatever, and I think that's kind of unfortunate. But it is what it is. I see there is kind of a circuit board as part of this switch. I'll have to take a better look at that when I get it out, see if I want to desolder that from the switch, or if it has any sort of feature to it, or if it was just how they decided to connect it. But we'll go ahead and get that switch swapped out. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to somebody. Some models, some videos on some different models show having to remove these side pieces and so on and so forth, so it wasn't always real intuitive how this comes apart. So there we are. I was a little suspicious with the printed circuit board on this switch that it might have resistors in it or something else, but enough of it left I could cycle it and check it with a meter. It's nothing but a single pole double throw 3-position switch, and boy, at a certain age your brain knows what you want your hands to do, but your vision and your fingers don't want to cooperate. But I did get that reasonably soldered in there. It's not pretty, but it's solid. And button it back up. There's 2 flat washers and a star lock washer on the one side, and then the split nut on the front. I know they make a little tool, and I certainly could have fabricated one for the split nut, but since I only intend to do one, I was able to use a pointy needle nose pliers to turn it out well enough and get it snug. So I'll just recombobulate it in the opposite order of discombobulating, and I should be good.